Hi, my name is Harper Sullivan, and my TED Talk is on athletes' mental health during injury. As we all know, many athletes face many different challenges along the way, whether that's dealing with injury or the stress that comes with being an athlete, or being a student athlete and the stress that comes from school. When I was 13, I was playing in a game and I slid into third base and broke my ankle in two different places. This really took a huge toll on my mental health and the way I saw the game. I was put into a cast and I was at school in crutches, all while my friends got to play the game that I loved. And so it was really hard for me mentally to deal with that. And it was hard to accept the fact that I wasn't able to help my team, and I just honestly felt useless. Yoni Mitchell once said, "You don't know what you have until it's gone." In this case, I had never resonated with something more because I never really thought about what my life would be like without my sport, and I couldn't even remember when I wasn't playing. So the thought of it being taken away from me had always been really difficult for me. During my long recovery process, I struggled with wondering if I was ever going to play again or if I was ever even going to be as good as I was. I dealt with so many different feelings, and I was really dealing with stress, anxiety, and depression. And that had all overcome me all while I was thinking about getting back on the field. In a study of 900 NCAA student athletes, it was found that 33% of injured athletes could be depressed. And it's been proven that athletes feel sadness, isolation, irritation, frustration, and many other emotions while being injured. It takes a large toll on many different athletes and especially their mental health. All while I was going through this, I was thinking about my life without my sport, and the thought of not playing softball just had never crossed my mind because I don't think about something that it never crossed my mind because I thought I was always going to be playing the game. During my time playing, I met a lot of people who became like my best friends, and some people just came and went, but I met some of my best friends, and I was worried about my relationship with my friends, and not seeing them every day. And then even the biggest athletes face injury. Like Peyton Manning had a neck issue, and he was worried if he was ever gonna play again. And Buster Posey, the catcher for the Giants, he was injured and his knees were really bad, and so he was in the training room for like hours and hours before the game, making sure that he was going to be okay to catch that game. And so they even went through a lot of different mental issues and talked about it as well. And the thought of not being on the field had all hit them too. And so for me, actually, just the other day, I got in a car accident and I have a black eye, a broken nose, a sprained finger, and a fractured radial head in my elbow. So I wasn't expecting this. It wasn't a part of my plan. And so now that this has happened to me, I have to find my own way of a new normal without my sport. And I haven't really thought about it that much. I am the kind of person who's doing something every day after school. And so now being able to sit back and sitting at home instead of being out is really an issue for me as well, and dealing with that. And I'm a very social person, so kind of putting that on hold for a little bit is difficult. And then also, I feel like this isn't talked about enough, and I feel like we need mentors or someone to help student athletes deal with the stress of being injured and like all the mental issues that come with being injured. And I feel like coaches need to check up on their athletes more often, because I know for me, I really wasn't getting checked up on by my coaches, and I feel like that would have done a little bit more for me, having that reassurance that it's okay, because you're worried about your spot on a team and all that stuff. So coming back to the sport is difficult. It's not easy because you have to go through that pain of playing again, just dealing with it because obviously you're sore and stuff like that. And so for me, dealing with this, I am stressed about getting back into season and I had to tell my high school coach that for senior year, I didn't know if I was that I am gonna be able to play my senior season, but I don't know what that's gonna look like. And so it's really difficult, but I think we need to make it something that we talk about more often for athletes, especially injured ones. So thank you so much for listening.